Hello there, Path of Exile gamers. On today's tower. Oh, wait a second. Wrong game. Oh, nice, a new empty Xbox. I wonder what's inside. Alright, enough of that. On today's actual content, we're gonna be talking about my League Starter and the initial thoughts I have on the Blight League. Now, my League Starter is one of the most generic League Starters ever, as it's an only feast Cyclone Slayer. Yes, pretty original, I know. Especially seeing a Cyclone got nerfed on this patch. So why the hell did I pick him then? So my train of thought was, in general, melee isn't gonna be the focus this league, or at least that's what I told myself. Reason being that a good chunk of the player base is jumping on the poison, golem, minion build hype train, and that's fine. Since those are the spotlight right now, we can get away with playing something that's as generic as Cyclone and not struggle as much. So I'm gonna be using Gitaba's Fist as the weapon, mainly because it has good physical DPS and because it destroys enemy corpses when they are killed. As I stated on the last video, the Spectral Shilcho Chieftain, I don't like dealing with undead effects, and destroying enemies on kill is the only way to deal with that. Now, coming back to my builds plan, I'm obviously not sitting at the best gear I can use on this guy. Optimally, I want a Devoto's Devotion, a 6-link chest piece with maim from a serrated fossil, spiked gloves, better jewelry and better boots. Everything on him right now is not final, except the weapon. However, I can definitely use a better roll Kitaba's Fist if I'm being totally honest. I also do not plan to use Conk Effect for the time being, and the reason is, since Cyclone's AoE got severely reduced, Conk Effect is just gonna make it worse, literally requiring me to stand face to face with enemies, and that can lead to mass frustration, especially when you consider the conga lines from the Blights. Talking about the conga line, it's time to talk about the Blight League. My initial reaction is, this goes from 0 to Defcon 1 really quickly, and it can be fun but also pretty frustrating. Let me explain. In general, the concept is that the enemies are gonna be spawning far away from the pump, and that's killing the Blight, so they're marching slowly towards it in order to break it. Your job is to prevent them from getting there, and if you succeed, you get chests with various assorted builds. I got some things to say about it though. I feel that it literally goes from this is going okay to this is definitely not going okay. The behavior of the conga line is very erratic. Some enemies will not target you at all, and in some cases, the entire legion that is getting spawned decides you are not allowed to live anymore. Rare enemies seem to be the biggest offenders, with proximity bubbles and volatile flame blood being my biggest gripes so far. At the same time, with the changes to rare enemies and how their nearest mobs are now their minions, and they share a mod from the rare, certain enemies go from being chowder to making you their chowder. Another thing is that as a tower defense, this is not very fair. And what I mean by that is, a tower defense normally gives you a little break in between waves in order to regain your posture and upgrade the towers. This mess over here doesn't have that. Combine that with misclicking in the middle of the encounter, and you're gonna have a pretty bad time. Of course, the more damage you deal, the easier time you'll have, and in part, a good chunk of my failures and frustration have been because I'm not working with the best gear or the most optimal build for the league right now, but still, I do believe that the mechanics feel janky very frequently, and it severely hurts the enjoyment I'm getting out of it. The last thing I gotta say that's not precisely positive is that the performance of the league seems to be a little bit janky. I'm still hitting myself for not recording a blighted mess I did last night, but it got to a point where the game was literally running at 28 frames per second because there was a billion mobs getting spawned, while at the same time the game was expecting you to plan out your towers, while at the same time you have to worry about getting them upgraded, while at the same time you get towers of health known as unique monsters, and it gets so hectic that the low performance kills the entire interaction. For reference, I'm playing on a Ryzen 5 2600X, a GTX 1660 Ti, 16GB of 3000 MHz DDR4 RAM, and the game is installed on an SSD, and it freaking chugs in the blighted maps. Now, I do believe that later down the line in the league with a stronger build, the quicker I clear out the mob trains, the better time I'll have. But still, that is definitely something that they do need to check, because I don't think that the game's performance going that low is good league design. Now, don't think that I'm blindly hating on the league. In fact, I do like it. A good chunk of my gripes come with the fact that I'm not playing with the most optimal gear for the character. Once I get there and the character becomes very competent, expect a guide, even if he's pretty generic and not very original to some people. So yeah, expect more content soon? hopefully later this week. With all that said, thanks for watching, remember to subscribe, rate and comment, and be sure to tune in next time when we embrace the fact that the clowns are running this world. Bye.